Hi, I'm Mark Toole with 8020service.com. Today's customer service video question of the day. For those of you watching on YouTube or Quora, the question comes from Quora. The question is, why are call centers such a toxic work environment? Okay, so anybody who's ever worked in a call center certainly probably knows at least where this person's coming from. Some are obviously better or worse than others, but generally speaking, yes, it is not a pleasant place to work, not just because of the nature of the job, although I'll argue that a lot of it does stem from that, but it's just a bad place all around. Yes, obviously there's got to be some exceptions out there in the world. If you are the one guy working in a call center that's a really good place, great. You don't have to argue with me on this. Let me know. I'd be interested to hear about it, but, this isn't meant to be an argument or something. Anyways, disclaimer aside, there's only one answer so far to this question here. It's a guy who said, call centers don't hold a monopoly on this. Other places are bad too. Maybe it's bad because there's a lot of people there and some of them are bad. Maybe. But we're going to go deeper than that on this answer. I think that there is something about the conventional call center and going a little bigger than that, the conventional customer service environment as a whole, that does tend to produce an unpleasant work environment. I don't know. I'm not going to say toxic because I don't know what they mean by that, but but it is something that seems to almost be inherent in that job, in that work environment. So, what is that? Well, first of all, yes, you need to look at the nature of the job itself. In conventional customer service terms, what happens in a call center? Well, first of all, if the business has a call center or uses a call center, it tells me it's almost certainly a conventionally run customer service operation, which means a lot of assumptions we can just generalize here that, and yes, there are exceptions, but the thing about generalizations is that they are generally true. So, generally, what can we say about a call center environment? Well, first of all, the people working there, the call center agents, they're not just hired for their intelligence and their ability to understand business and told to, hey, sit down and help these customers. You know what you're doing. You can handle it. Go do that. No. They are hired because they are the people who will work the most cheaply and will put up with the most shit. And by shit, I mean that the job is essentially read from a procedures manual over here. When the customer asks about this, find the appropriate procedure and do what it says. Don't think, don't make decisions, do what the procedure says. And most of the time, at least in a lot of these operations, it's going to be if customer asks about X, read the following script. And then they read the script, and then the customer says, yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about, you don't understand me. And then they read the customer didn't understand script, and so forth. Now, this is not, no, to be clear, I use the term NPC to talk about these people. People use that term politically. I use it business-wise. Basically, an NPC, though, the term comes from video games. It's a non-player character. Think of the computer-controlled enemy. I've explained this before, so those of you who've heard it before, well, you're going to hear it again. Think of the computer-controlled enemy in a video game. For those, if you've ever played a video game or haven't, you know what I'm talking about. There's an enemy there. Maybe he's shooting at you. Maybe it's little orange mushroom guy in Mario Brothers. Whatever it is, it's an enemy, and it's trying to do certain things. In a video game, it's usually to kill the player. But it's not a person. It's not controlled by another person. I'm talking about single-player games, not multiplayer stuff. But it's not controlled by a person. It's controlled by a computer program. Some computer programs are better than others, but basically, it responds to stimuli and reacts in a predictable manner. If player does this, shoot at him with this gun. If player goes over there, run after him. Whatever. This sort of thing. So same thing with these customer service agents. They're NPCs. If customer asks about refund policy, read refund policy script. If customer asks for refund, process refund according to the following steps, and then read refund processed script. Yes, there are occasionally going to be exceptions. Someone's going to ask about a thing that's not on the script or not on the procedures guide, the programming, and depending on the operation, then the person may be allowed to answer that question, or they may, if they're full-on NPC, just sort of break and shake a little bit and read the closest script they can find that doesn't really match, and the customer says, what are you talking about, man? That's not what I asked. Have you tried unplugging your computer? Well, why would I unplug my computer? That's not what I'm asking about. And eventually the guy gets mad, yells at him, which point he puts his boss on the phone or sends him to a higher level NPC, one with either the programming or the autonomy to answer that question. So that's how it works. That's what happens. But why would that be a toxic work environment? Well, it's obvious. Do you want to do a job like that? Do you want to do a job where they hook a machine up to your ear and a machine up to your mouth, and your eyes read a program from a screen and tell you what script to regurgitate, and your thinking and cognitive processes are all completely left out of the thing? In fact, they're actively turned off, but still it demands all your attention to sit there and hear what this person is saying and find the appropriate script and read it and make sure you don't stutter or say the wrong word or read the wrong script or take too long or clear your throat or whatever else, because there's a team of nerds with headsets listening in on you every minute of every day, waiting for you to make a mistake so they can send you a report about your coaching opportunities, as they call it, which means you're going to have to talk to someone to be like, hey, you know how you said there or cleared your throat, or how you said the customer's name wrong, or whatever. They'll find something and they'll nitpick at it, and the guy will have to have an unpleasant conversation with his boss. He doesn't want to do that. He just wants to collect his paycheck and go home because he doesn't want to be there. So that makes it a toxic work environment. Of course, the job itself. The job itself necessitates not thinking, but it's very intensive, labor-intensive, time-intensive, focus and attention intensive, which means you're going to do this. You're not going to have a thought in your head all day long, at least you're not supposed to, but it's going to be a mentally taxing and draining day, and at the end of it, you're just going to be like, and you go eat something, watch TV, have some drinks, whatever. That sort of thing. Then the way it's managed, of course, is the idea of squeezing as much efficiency out of these NPCs as possible. So, like I said, they got people listening in on them, making sure they don't say the wrong thing, judging them on how they read the scripts. They have meetings about how to read the script better or a new change to the script, and they sit in there, and then somebody puts up a PowerPoint slide, and they all wear khaki pants. They tell them what to dress in, tell them what to wear, and somebody times their piss breaks. They monitor them. Oh, you were 3 minutes late today, Bob. Yeah, okay. It's just the kind of thing where there's nothing for them to look forward to in the day. And the only thing to look forward to is if nobody calls, if it's not busy, then they got to worry that they're going to get fired, because they will, because they're not going to pay them to be inefficient and sit around doing nothing. So that's another concern. But really, their main positive thing to hope for in a day is that nobody notices them, that they don't have to do anything other than the usual, that they get a lot of easy, repetitive calls where they can just bang out the scripts without even looking at it or thinking about it. That's the best they can really hope for at this job. Now, why would you want to do this job? You wouldn't. You would absolutely not want to do this job. Maybe you're naive and you think it's going to be good, but if you have a choice, you wouldn't want to do this. Maybe you think you can work your way up through the company or something, but really you're taking this job because you don't think you can get a better job anywhere else. You're doing this because you need to do a thing for money, and this is a thing that will hire you without too much, too many criteria that you have to meet. Maybe you're fresh out of school, whatever. Maybe you didn't go to school, whatever. You need to do something, and it's better than, fast food or something, you think. At least it pays more. So these are the people coming into that job. Now, who's managing them? The same people a few years down the line. Not the smartest ones, not the most intelligent ones, not the ones with the best social skills, as you or I, as rational human beings, would define it. No. The ones who are best at playing the NPC game, of kissing ass, of tucking their shirt into their khaki pants right, of going on smoke breaks with the other losers and talking about PowerPoint and bitching about the rich people or whatever else it is these people do. It's the people who make themselves good at playing this game. But I just described this game. It's not a game worth playing. It's a terrible game. It's a miserable, losing game, race to the bottom, and these are the people who come into the positions of authority or power in this game. And of course, they're going to run things poorly. They may have their own issues going on. They may be sociopaths or psychopaths or tripping on power, trying to abuse some NPC who just wanted to take a piss and someone's need to write him up for it or something. Yeah, I've worked at one of these jobs. Won't go into detail there, but yes, these are the people who come to power in these positions. But I say power, it's all relative, because in these conventional operations, customer service is an entirely separate thing from the real business. The business is over here creating products, making money, selling things, all the important stuff. And then sometimes customers complain or customers have problems, and there's a sewer pipe that dumps all of that into this bin called customer service, where a bunch of psychopaths and losers and NPCs hang around trying to handle it. They have no say into what happens before that. If the million customers constantly ask about the same thing, there's no way to fix it. They simply have to handle it. They can't say, hey, if we just change this one thing on the website, none of these 400 questions would have happened, and we'd be a lot less busy. No. And they don't even want to do that, because if they were less busy, they'd get fired. So it's just a system designed to do the bare minimum at best, and that standard, the harder they try to enforce it through more authoritarian measures, more piss break timing, more scripts, more programming manuals, more NPCs, even putting software NPCs in place, like the voice recognition systems, things like that. The more they try to do that, the worse and more complex and more infuriating it becomes for the customers and for the people who work there. Now, this is a pretty bleak picture of customer service I've painted here, but it is not the only option. The obvious thing is to reject this entire complex NPC system, to take customer service as something simple, something important, something that is a part of the rest of the business, and the other way around, not a dumpster to throw crap into, but an essential piece of a business that needs to have attention paid to it, not because things will go bad if you don't, but because it can be incredibly profitable. And that's what I help businesses get right. Keeping things simple, preventing problems before they happen, and leveraging the opportunity you have when a customer contacts you, they give you their attention directly. You have that attention. That's a profitable resource if you know what to do with it. So this video is getting long enough. I'll wrap this up here. I won't go into all the details, but that's why a call center is such a toxic environment. Even if you're doing this over email or live chat, the same things can be true, or similar at least, if the thing's being run in that conventional manner, in that 20th century industrial age obsolete manner, where the idea is to handle problems. Just, this is a big waste of time, but people would bitch too much if we got rid of it. Viewing it the wrong way, running it the wrong way, complexity goes crazy and ruins it. It's not the only way. There is a better way, but I'm wrapping this video up here because it's getting too long. I'll talk about this again. I've talked about this before. So like I said, I do these videos now, post them on Quora and on YouTube. This question came from Quora. If you have any questions you'd like answered about customer service, ask them to me on Quora. I may answer them if they're good. If you're watching on YouTube, leave it in the comments. I may pick one from there too. Haven't had a lot of comments so far, but if you want to leave something. And again, I do one of these videos every weekday on a customer service question. So follow, subscribe, like, upvote, thumbs up, whatever you want to call it, so you don't miss out. And I will be back tomorrow with another video.